Hello, Hola, Konnichiwa, Salaam, Ciao Namaste. Peace to all. This is Soulology, the science of the soul. Just fix this real quick. And what we're going to be discussing for today is about the sad truth. Sad truth in what? This is an observation and discussion about the sad truth about success in relationships. This is something I've observed not only for myself but others around me before who are trying to get what they desire in a sense. And it's quite interesting. There are many people you can be with and they feel frustrated being around you because they don't have any time with you because you are trying, or better yet, instead of trying, you are going for your success, your dreams, your goals in life to create what you desire. And they become upset that they feel at times that you are not spending enough time with them. And of course, there are people who, I want to make sure to keep this in context, that there are people who can be in relationships and care for each other and love each other and grow with each other in relationships while people are gaining success. But there's a large portion of people who can't have a relationship and keep success. And I remember hearing this yesterday from someone else that who's actually successful and everything, because he had a loved one who broke up with him literally 2 days ago. And pretty much the story for him was, what he stated was, you can have a great relationship, but due to the fact I had gained success, I had to, in a sense, give up one thing for another. And at times that's how we kind of show it as. You can't have both. And don't get me wrong, for those people out there are people out there that are meant for you to love who you truly are, to care for who you are. And yes, at times it takes a lot of time and a lot of patience, even if it can be frustrating. But to begin with, this is a status quo in a sense, that you have to always have time for a person or whatnot. You always have to be around that person. And we don't think of the other side. We don't compromise things in relationships. We treat relationships as though they are business contracts, as business expenses and so on and so forth, that I will do this for you if you do this for me. We don't treat it as compromising, well, I will take this amount of time, even out of my busy schedule, to spend time with you, or I will do X, Y, and Z to spend time with you, or for both of us, because relationships were never meant for you to have someone to complete who you are. You are already complete. What you are doing is sharing an experience with someone that you are choosing to care about. For most of us, this is unconditionally with conditions. It is way too far too often we do it for... It's far too often you don't see too many people who do have unconditional love completely. That doesn't mean it's not out there, but it's a very rare thing due to how we act. We look at things such as the status quo of what you should have in this world: your house, your money, your car, your clothes, and so on and so forth, that you have to fulfill certain duties or you cannot have that person. And it flabbergasts me. It confuses me in a sense. It shocks me that we have this ideology that that's how it has to be for me to have a relationship with you. And for some people, it's important, of course, to observe those things just so you don't fall in a negative light, which is understandable. But for genuine people who are trying to grow who they are and everything, and I don't want to talk to you. or anything, and we have no clue about them. We judge them immediately off the back instead of trying to understand people around us, grow those people around us, and grow each other. It is always a mindset of getting mine before yours, instead of working together to compromise and to love each other unconditionally and grow with each other. But second would be just simply in relationships, as I was saying about what people want provided, we look too far into the future. We are looking into the future constantly. If this person is right for us to marry, if this person is right to have children with, if this person's right, we look way too far in the past trying to get things done through there, when the past, I'm sorry, not the past, we look way too much into the future trying to find a way to think of how will you fit in my life, in my future, and so on and so forth, instead of blotching all that out, because there is no future, there is no past, there is only now. And taking the time to admire the now, to create the now, to observe the now with the people you're with, even people you may choose or not choose to be around. Understanding those people, observing them, giving them no judgment, and even if you're with them, observing them to find out if this is what works or doesn't work for you. Doesn't mean judging it, but observing, does this serve you in a sense to be around that person, to have that experience with that person, to love that person for who they are? Does it work for you? And that is something that most of us do not take time to do, is to get past trying to look all the way into the future and just stay in the moment of being with the people you choose to be around. Finding out if it's special, because even in my experience, I've given people chances I've been with before that some of them, of course, I should have never done it. And some of them, of course, I did. And some were, of course, I had a chance to be with them, but I was the one who decided not to. And I could have been with them. But the thing was that I was always constantly looking into the future most of the time. But for some of those relationships, I was working to be in the moment. And even if that's the case, take time to really ask yourself, is this who I'm being? Does this serve me? Does this work? Sharing this experience with this individual other, does it work for you? Does it serve you? You have to ask yourself that question for whatever you feel that you need to put up with, but being understanding to those things. Or if it's unnecessary for you due to maybe there's verbal abuse, maybe there's domestic abuse, or any type of abuse at all. Maybe they manipulate things and whatnot, and that might not be beneficial for you or anybody personally, because it marks controlling you and making you feel like you have no control, when you have control of who you are and you have control of what you choose in your life. And as for your success, in a sense, don't let anyone stop your desires of success in life, period. You're going to have people who feel like you're not a good this. Whether you're a husband, wife, girlfriend, boyfriend, who tell you you're not good, you're horrible, this and that. But you have to understand that in this waking moment of what you're creating as a soul, you have a chance to make it happen. Don't let that opportunity slip out of your hands when you can be the highest version of who you choose to be. No matter what anyone says or thinks of you, if that person thinks everything you're doing, from maybe the lifestyle you choose to eat, to the goals you have set, to whatever businesses you run, and they think that that's stupid, or they don't support you, or they don't really have too much care about talking about your goals or anything, then that might not be beneficial for you to be around that type of person. If they don't care about those things and don't inspire you and don't encourage you to keep going forth for what you desire, that might not be the best opportunity for you to be around. being around people who care, inspire you on both sides, that love what you do, that root for you, and you root for them as well, vice versa. You have to compromise. This is what grows the relationship truly. And allowing people to compromise helps you to grow your success while you have your relationship and keep evolving on top of that. But last, just both sides being in a relationship and just being alone. That while you're doing your success, it's vitally, again, like I said, it's vitally important to have your alone time and work on yourself, because what most people understand is when you are way too often around a person, it will drive you, as they say, mad, crazy, insane. And there's a reason why you need to take time away from that individual other. And it's not because, oh, well, this person's horrible or whatnot. There's a serious psychological reason. Being around someone for too long can literally drive you crazy. And you have to understand that there has to be a balance between this. So being alone and taking time to be alone with yourself and actually relax and do what you enjoy allows you a chance to miss that person and love them even more. But when you're around a person for too long and everything, and you're driving each other crazy, you might get to a point where you regret being with a person possibly, or you might not be too happy in a sense of being with them. Taking time away. And that's why going for your success, that's why compromising to have that time alone, to work on self, to love who you are, to grow who you are, to care for who you are, because that is what you deserve. So, in conclusion, in the relationships, yes, there are many status quos that are happening, and that is where you have to choose what serves you and what works for both of you, as experiencing what it is to have a relationship. Secondly, to realize to stop looking into the future, stop looking into the past of who people are, trying to negotiate if this person deserves to be with you. You're all one and the same, and just realize that, to observe them and give them that chance to grow with you and see where it goes. Does it serve you? Does it work? Does it not work? Does it not serve you? And last, taking time alone from who you are to seriously, of course, understand and understand self and grow your success. And with that individual other, really having a chance to miss them so you can grow your love. To separate, to love each other deeply and come even closer together. Instead of constantly being around each other and driving each other insane. They're saying that in today's society, many millennials have lowered the rate of the divorce rate. And that is because many of them are not getting married. And me, of course, included in all that. And of course, not on purpose anyways. But the fact is that there are too many people who won't allow you to go for what you desire. So if you are looking for that person, take time to really work on yourself right now, because that person will come when they come. Loving who you are, working on who you are first is vitally important. And no matter who you're with, remember this saying, that betrayal of the self is still betrayal nonetheless. It is the highest betrayal. Don't betray yourself for another person because of what they say, do, or think of you. Work always on who you are, because no one is going to love you more than yourself at the end of the day. But at the same time, when you do find that one person who unconditionally loves you for you, keep pushing and share that experience with each other. Realize how beautiful, how magnificent, how amazing, how divine, how magnificent you are as the gods, the goddesses, and the creators within. So remember that to know thyself is to know the creator within, who you are. And to everybody out there, have a good morning, a great afternoon, and a fantastic evening. To everybody, peace and namaste.